Hey guys, this is the Why Would You Think That podcast. This is where I'm going to be going over week 2 in the NFL, five biggest winners, and then the five biggest losers in my opinion. So I'm going to rifle through them. I'm going to start with. I'll start with losers. We'll end the video on a positive note. How about Giants? Giants lose to a. I don't think the Bears are going to be very good. Trubisky isn't very good. Giants lose the game. They spot the Bears a 17-0 lead. Giants can't overcome it. They lose Saquon Barkley, who's basically their franchise. I think it was a big loss. You fall to 0-2 again. I think it was like 6 out of the last 7 years they've started off 0-2. You lose Saquon Barkley. You lose any shot of winning a whole lot of games. Then Falcons. You blow a what? Jeez. You blow a 9-point lead with like 2 minutes left in the game. You score a ton of points. You had a huge lead the whole game. You give up a stupid onside kick after the Cowboys kept tripping over themselves with fake punts and fumbles early in the game. This is a devastating loss for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't see how you could argue anything to the contrary of that. And now their schedule lightens up pretty well, but this going forward for the next 5 or 6 games where they could overcome this. But this is a huge loss. I mean, you never want to start off 0-2. All right, next up, third out of the five, Minnesota Vikings. They just look lost. They look like they're in the middle of the pandemic, like most of us are, and don't know what to do. Their offense stinks. Their defense stinks. They can't cover people. They've given up 70 points in the first two matchups. Kirk Cousins looks like Blake Bortles out there. 3 picks, only 120 yards. Couldn't move the ball against a Colts defense that got shredded by Gardner Minshew the week prior. I don't know what to say. Vikings, maybe the biggest loser because they just extended Kirk Cousins, they extended Dalvin Cook, they extended Mike Zimmer, the head coach. I don't know what they're gonna do moving forward because Kirk Cousins' new extension, his money is here and it's now, and it's gonna hurt if you try and move on. Okay, fourth up, I'm gonna call up Houston Texans. Now, obviously, their schedule is brutal for the first 2 weeks. You lose game one to the defending champs. You lose game two to arguably the second best team in the league. I would quiver on if they're the first or second in the Baltimore Ravens. Tough schedule. You start 0-2. Your offense looks damn near pitiful. Your passing game, at least, just can't get going with you. I can't speak. Willful or doesn't catch a ball against the Ravens. There's just no flow. This is what I'm basically trying to say. There's no flow to this offense. They can't run the football with a high efficiency. The defense played okay. They had a couple sacks on Lamar Jackson, like I mentioned last segment. But Houston Texans 0-2, and then you have to play the Steelers against that defensive front. Good luck. Good luck. All right, 49ers, even though they won, huge losses. You lose your defensive MVP in Nick Bosa. You lose Solomon Thomas, who's another key to that defensive line rotation. Raheem Mostert is injured. Jimmy Garoppolo is questionable. I mean, and you're on top of the fact that you're already out Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Richard Sherman, and Tevin Coleman gets hurt. I don't blame the 49ers for anybody who's of consequence on the 49ers roster who does not want to play again in MetLife against the Giants. Even though they won, one of the biggest losers, lose a bunch of they're just injured. I don't know if I've seen a single team with this many injuries trying to move forward this early in the season. 49ers are the fifth loser. All right, we'll move on to the winners. How about the Cleveland Browns? I know it's only the Cincinnati Bengals, but you got to start winning games and start progressing. I think the Browns can be not special, but I think they can really get better as the season got along. I didn't overreact after the week 1 blowout by the Ravens, considering it's a new coach in the pandemic. They're trying to progress together. I think they will progress throughout the season and get better as they go. This is the first step. Generally, the first step is the hardest one to take. I think they're really getting their identity rolling, running the football, play action. We're going to find Odell on a couple shots downfield. We're going to be extremely efficient with our passing game. We're not going to give up a bunch. We're not going to turn the ball over. Baker had one key mistake that really should have put the game away. That could have really sealed it and not made it as close as it was. It was a pick in the end zone or near the end zone. So I think there are positive signs for the Browns, and I do consider them one of my 5 winners of Week 2. All right, number 2, Cardinals. Start off 2-0 in the best division in football, I think. You beat up on a team who has arguably one of the best D lines in football. The rushing stats look a whole lot better with Kyler Murray's scrambles. You're able to just almost play keep away. Your defense played really well. I mean, the Arizona defense is pretty good. I didn't think I'd be saying that, but you have Budda Baker, you have Patrick Peterson, you have Chandler Jones, who never gets talked about in Defensive Player of the Year, even though he always has a ton of sacks. He's always the sack leader in the NFL. I don't understand it. You have Isaiah Simmons, who they drafted. You have playmakers on defense. Your offense is starting to get better. You have DeAndre Hopkins. You have Larry Fitzgerald. You have Christian Kirk. You have weapons. You have Kenyon Drake, too, who's done a pretty good job receiving and running, which they like to do. All right, Dallas Cowboys are my 3rd winner. I don't like the Cowboys, but they did a really good job of not quitting. You know, there was a bunch of talk at the halftime about Mike McCarthy talking about, hey, let's just progress. And that progression led to not giving up. I mean, they just kept hammering and hammering and trying and trying. They did make some dumb mistakes. I don't understand the play call of going for 2 when you're down 9. I would just kick the extra point, because here's the thing that nobody talks about with going for 2 when you're down 9 or going in those certain situations. I would think you would want to go for 1, and then the game progresses, wear the defense down more, so where it comes time to when you need to go for 2, the defense is more tired and you have a better chance of succeeding on that 2-point play. But Cowboys do deserve to be on this list. Overcame a huge deficit, didn't quit. Dak Prescott played amazing. Their offense is scary. I mean, I know the Falcons' defense is putrid, but you got to go out and make plays too, man. Even if it is bad defense, you have to go out and do your thing. Cowboys are my 3rd winner. All right, Chargers. I know they lost, but I was extremely impressed. Their defense played really, really well. Justin Herbert, for his first start and learning he was starting moments before kickoff, he played well. Yes, he did have the interception that led to the Chiefs getting, kickstarting the Chiefs back into the game. But I was really impressed. He helped. He's the one who helped get them to the lead, that 11-point lead against the Chiefs. I think the future can be bright if he builds on this, but that was a fantastic start off for Justin Herbert's career. I hope it does continue for him, because I was extremely impressed the way he went head up against the defending Super Bowl champs and said, yeah, I'm a rookie, but I can fight. All right, 5th winner, Rams. Start off just like the Cardinals, 2-0, best division in football. Their offense looks great. It looks like the tweaks they've made, not having Todd Gurley, not having to, depend on Todd Gurley, having Cam Akers, who they drafted, having Malcolm Brown, getting the run game going a little bit, and having their offense switch a little bit. Before, Sean McVay really wanted to base a lot of what he did based off play action. You see them opening up more. Sean McVay, who's an offensive genius, must have really sat down and figured out a way to tweak some things, and I really enjoy it because it's helped Jared Goff and this offense progress a lot, and I really like the tweaks they made on defense. They made Carson Wentz look extremely uncomfortable. Obviously, Aaron Donald, who's awesome, plays a huge role in that, and they made Dak Prescott really uncomfortable. So I really like the Rams. I think they can kind of ride the wave back up the hill like that, like on a wave chart, and I think they're going to come back, and I think they will be a serious contender to make the playoffs and do some damage with the tweaks they've made on both sides of the ball. So my 5 winners and losers again: losers, Giants, Falcons, Vikings, Texans, Niners. Winners, Browns, Cardinals, Cowboys, Chargers, Rams. If you have any thoughts, feel free, if you're listening, to comment if you disagree or you have or suggestions of your own. I'd love to talk with you about it. This is going to be segment 2 of 3. What's coming up next is the Pretenders and Contenders part of my reaction to Week 2. It's going to involve teams who are lossless, I guess you could say, and winless, and how I view them. So thank you for listening, and I will talk to you soon.